what is the best computer for ProPresenter or for doing slides, lyrics, all that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. Right, because in the church world, we're usually talking about ProPresenter or
something
Easy
like that.
Worship.
Yeah. A way to take your videos, your slides, all that stuff, and put it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best
computer?
Yeah,
for
what's
it?
the best computer for that?
I mean, you first of all end up in the tale as old as time, which is we have to have the Mac versus PC debate. It just reminds me of those old commercials. I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
Oh yeah.
It was really funny. Sorry, it's really funny to me. Side note. Because then they hired the actor who played a Mac later to do PC commercials.
Yeah. That's funny.
Honestly, in today's culture, and you and I can say this pretty definitively, that doesn't matter.
No.
Like, we've used both plenty of times.
I'm not a fan of, I'm not like a
You
Mac
own both.
guy.
Yeah.
I say the big three because I like Windows, I like Mac, and I like Linux.
Yeah, that's a great operating system, too.
This is the thing. There's actually 3 operating systems out there.
So the big thing that you need to know about that computer is what are you asking it to do? Because a lot of people are being really unfair to their computers.
Yes.
Like, they're asking their computer to do so much
They're
more than it was
trying to live
designed
stream
to do.
and run ProPresenter and do everything. Yeah.
So, like, the first thing we would say is don't make your computer do everything. Like, have a dedicated computer that's just running ProPresenter.
Yeah.
That in itself is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
If you need a live stream encoder or another computer to live stream, do it. It's worth it. That's totally worth it. But talking about Apple, for instance, they've released so many different computers over the years, you really need to know what they're all good for.
Yeah.
So like any company that builds a lightweight notebook, in Apple's world, it's called the MacBook Air, but a lot of other companies build, Chromebooks or other things like that. They are not meant to run that kind of software. They don't have the kind of processors.
No, they're meant to take with you to the coffee shop.
Those are the, light email editing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the first thing you need to know is there is a difference between just a consumer level computer and a professional level computer. A professional level computer is going to have some components inside that are really beefy and able to handle, because ProPresenter is a beefy program.
Yeah.
And really anything is. You're asking it to route lyrics and videos and colors and all kinds of things to multiple displays sometimes. Mm-hmm. So that's really important. The other thing you need to be really careful of, our cautionary tale. Computer companies are evolving very quickly.
Yes.
And you need to read about the computer. Mm-hmm. So, like, for instance, Apple recently launched their M1 series Macs, which were awesome performance-wise.
They're insanely fast.
They're doing things with computing that no company had done in a long time.
No.
So that's really exciting. And so, of course, if your church tech is nerdy, they're really excited about the Apple M1 Macs. And they all ran out and bought one. And then they tried to use it with ProPresenter.
And it did not work.
And here's why it didn't work. It wasn't because ProPresenter wasn't working. ProPresenter stays on top of stuff, and that's something we like about Renewed Vision. Is like,
trust me, they're buying the same computers the same time you are.
Yeah, and that's why we like Renewed Vision is they test their equipment thoroughly. So their software is really good. The problem was the M1 Mac, the ones that were released the first year, were specifically built to do just a couple things really well. They were really trying to showcase their processors.
Yeah, because they built a whole new processor.
And this is a brand new line.
Yeah.
And so what they didn't do is they didn't put support in there for multiple displays.
Correct.
To the common user, wasn't an issue.
No.
Like even my wife does a lot of video editing.
Yeah.
She has an M1 Mac and it supports 2 displays.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
She's got her 2 displays. Her whole studio is working awesome. And the M1 processors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
fast.
any church that was used to having 3 or more displays in their sanctuary, all of a sudden,
which is every church pretty much,
right? Because they usually have content. They have some TVs in the lobby. They have a confidence monitor.
Yeah.
And the M1 Mac did not allow you to do
that. Not natively, no.
Yep. So then there were all these weird workarounds, and like one of our techs in the shop really got nerdy about it and was finding all these workarounds. In their recent release this year, they've launched the Mac Studio, which I think is going to become an industry standard computer.
Yes, because it's not expensive and
it's really good pricing. Yeah. And one of the big things the Mac Studio does is allows you to run up to 5 or 6 displays. It's an outrageous number.
5 displays.
They're natively Thunderbolt, which means you can convert them to anything. HDMI, anything.
They've got USB-C on the front, Thunderbolt on the back.
So like these, I think those computers are going to become standard. And even like our favorite computer to run ProPresenter used to be a classic iMac.
Yeah.
We'd usually buy something with a really beefy processor and really, really beefy RAM. But now with the advent of the Mac Studio, I think it's going to really change that.
I would honestly say that's probably the best computer to run ProPresenter on.
I think in the price point, And the other thing you're going to get is like Apple has been in the audio video industry for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they kind of, in a way, are an industry standard. But
yeah.
whatever computer you go with, make sure it's got all the right stats for all the gear you plan to run off it, and make sure that it supports everything you want to do. Do the
Yeah.
research ahead of time.
Yeah.